dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out, and I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Sorry I'm a couple of minutes late. I was, just sitting here spacing out. And I looked down and it's like, 8:01, and I'm like, so I didn't have, well, I had the websites up, but I didn't have none of the software up or nothing like that. So had to get the software up, get my screens ready, and fun times. So apologies for me being retardy this evening. Let's see. All right, just put a fresh set of batteries and filled my e-cig. I had another victory in the Boulder Rock saga, my little pods that I've got. So I initially bought 2 of them, and I had no idea where the other one wound up. I wasn't sure. And funny thing is, I did run across it like a few weeks or so ago, and I made a mental note of it, but apparently forgot. So I've been on a quest to find my clasp. When I initially built Blue's cable, put her cable together, I had bought 2 of the clasps, and I can't find the other one. And since I saved one off of a leash, and that was also seemed to be a well-made one, so I should have 2 of those damn things running around, because it was the initial one that I used, and it's so worn out that the little thing that goes up and down the catch, it will actually pop out. So that's not good. Right now I've got a carabiner on it, but trying to find that. Anyway, so while I was looking for that, I ran across my other Boulder Rock battery, and I thought, no way. And it looked pretty rough sitting there, because it'd been out, it'd been outside for years in the shed. And plus, since I had used it, since I had quit using it, I didn't clean it up. And it had a full pod in it, and it was just a nasty mess. However, I picked it up out of the box and pushed the button, and the frickin' light lit up. And I'm like, damn, that thing's been sitting in that shed outside in the weather and the well, you know what I mean, with the cold temperatures and stuff. And it even still had something in it. So anyway, I brought it in, cleaned it up, which did involve me running hot water over it and stuff like that. It was caked. It was nasty. And so I did all that. I brought it in, and it quit working. So a couple of days it wouldn't work. But this morning I got up. When I came in here, I checked again. Sure enough, the light lit up. She's working like a champ. So you can still get these things for like $11, man. That's incredible. So $11 for a Boulder Rock pod battery, the battery. And I'm telling you, I would tell you to get this every day, all day. I thought it was setting up here. I guess it's not. I think it's right behind me. It is. I would tell you to spend your $11 times 5 on this before I would spend your $70 times 1 on this. Just saying. And this is supposed to be top of the line. Piece of crap is what it is. $11. Put the damn thing outside in the cold temps and everything else for years, and the damn thing still works. That's the kind of products you want. Dad used to always say, Chrome don't get you home. And it's very true. And that goes in just about everything I know. Anyway, wow. So yeah, I got that done. Other than that, I did a fair amount of flight simming. Boy, there's somebody that just hates when I do that. There's somebody that every single flight sim video I post, they thumbs down that bastard. I kind of have a feeling. I've got a sneaky suspicion. I could be totally wrong. But I got a sneaky suspicion that thumbs downer is somebody from my past that can't stand that I'm still doing it. Just a sneaky suspicion. But, you know, it is what it is. They didn't have to be a liar. That's all I'll say. I paid a fair amount of attention to the news. I still don't think the world's ending October 4th. I think in 3 days that the aliens will still be wherever the hell the aliens were. I think the nanobots will still be trying to find a way through our testicular tubes. I really don't think that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everything the government does is bad. But, I mean, some of the stuff that people are coming up with is just absolute whack. By the way, I rid the world of one mosquito just now, so you're welcome. Bastard was biting me. He was mid-bite, and I took him out. Anyway, I don't know. This stuff is nonsense. What stuff? Oh, everything. Everything. The frickin' government funding extension and everything. Everything. I kind of have a feeling, though, as far as this mass support for Ukraine, I think it's going to be winding down. You know, because I get what the show's called tonight. I get the first article I have for you. I get all that. I understand all that. But the truth of the matter remains that, by and large, support for Ukraine is waning. And that is not just in the United States, but abroad as well. So, I don't know what's going to happen there. And I know that there's been a lot of scuttlebutt, if you will, about NATO troops on the ground in Ukraine. And first off, that was more or less somebody talking out their ass. So, not really, here's the thing. Here's the deal. Yes, there's NATO troops on the ground in Ukraine. There's been NATO troops on the ground in Ukraine for a long damn time. However, they're not there on a NATO official capacity. So we kind of have to split hairs with this a little bit. They've been there. They've been helping. I guess you missed the memos. But they've been there. They've been helping. And, you know, if you pay close attention, you'll see mentions here and there of where, and when I say NATO troops, I don't mean they went in as a NATO representative. They went in as representatives of the countries they came from. So don't misunderstand that. They didn't go in as representative of NATO. However, they did go in as a representative of a NATO country. There is a difference in between the two there. But even the U.S. has admitted that there have been troops over there, not in like support type of roles and training type of roles and stuff like that. Now, what was being talked about was training on a larger scale. That is what was being talked about. And since that guy talked out his ass, there was a clarification on the situation. So, we will get to that. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, yeah. Oh, the most important thing. Oh, yeah. Out of the gate, since I've talked to you. Now, I did mention it during the VR news broadcast we did on Friday. absolutely brought it up. I made a point of making it an early part of the show, in which I played the classic "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead," and that would be Dianne Feinstein's passing, in which we celebrated on Friday in the VR News bit. So I do want to make note of that. Thank you, Lord. Other than that, I don't know. I have my head stuck in Flight Sim quite a bit. I was enjoying the carrier operations. I don't know. I can't get enough of it. It's just, I enjoy it. And the carriers have been there for a while. I mean, not the Miltech Super Carrier. That's a new product. But Microsoft, Asobo, they had carriers in there since, before the Top Gun movie came out, because they delayed the Top Gun movie for like a year, but they went ahead and released the carriers and the F-18 and all that for Flight Sim, because they were to do that. They were supposed to do that together, the Top Gun expansion package, or whatever you want to call it. It's definitely an added challenge. Let's see. Howdy, Ryan. Let's see here. I guess we could jump into this stuff. I don't have anything in particular really to talk about. Not that I can think of. I just would encourage folks to keep at it. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is to be self-reliant. Now, I didn't say self-sustainable. I didn't say many, many other words. I said self-reliant. Because, I commented on, Jay Dudley put out a video, and I don't know if you can see my comments over on a lot of the creators have me blocked. It is what it is. But I left a comment over there, this mindset that I don't have to learn what I don't want to learn is dangerous at best. Throughout my lifetime, I've learned a whole lot of shit that I didn't want to learn. A whole lot. And, I mean, that knowledge has been invaluable to me. Absolutely invaluable. And all that hard work from all those years, now sitting here at the age of 51, is paying off like you wouldn't believe. And if the balloon does go up in my lifetime, it's going to way more than pay off. Way more than pay off. That's actually, that's actually my best case scenario, my best case situation, to be honest, would be if things were belly up. Because that's when I can shine. In today's world, not so much. Not so much. People like me are taken advantage of, taken for granted, and largely underappreciated. And I'm not saying I'm special or anything. I'm talking about people that have spent their lives learning different skills, learning different trades. There's not a whole lot of people out there that do that. Not very many at all. In fact, a large majority of the people pretty much try to get away with learning as little as possible, just to get by. They want to spend the rest of the time with the TV remote in their hand, or whatever. And hey, I'm not judging you. You do you, boo. But I'm not going to cheat myself that way. I'm not going to cheat myself, and I'm especially not going to cheat the Father. Why do I say that? Because he created me in his image, right? I'm pretty sure he didn't expect me to waste my time sitting around with a fucking TV remote in my hand. Pretty sure of that. Just saying. Just saying. He wouldn't have made statements like he did in Hosea 4, verse 6. Not even remotely. Not even remotely. But I digress. No, I don't. But I'll say it anyway. Man. Yeah, exactly. If you haven't learned something today, you weren't paying attention. Right on. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I try to learn something, even if it's something insignificant. I do actually. There are times that it'll be getting more near the evening, and it'll dawn on me, you didn't learn anything today. And even if it's the most stupid thing, I will go and learn it, you know? Just, it's a good habit to be in, and there are a lot of reasons that led to where and who I am today. Some good things, some awesome things, some things that it just blows my mind. But other things are tragic. And it's my firm belief that it took all of that to form the person that I am today. And I screamed, I bitched, I moaned for a long time at the Father. Actually, even before I truly believed in him, I did. But believe me, I didn't stop when I did start believing in him. I'm honest with him. That's what he wants. He wants us to be honest with him. He don't want us to put on our makeup and our fake face and all that stuff to speak to him. Absolutely not. He wants the true us. But anyway. Man. Frickin' thing left its itchy crap on me. Alright. Let's see. I got, how many tabs do I got up? When I'm split on two screens, it's not quite right. I need to actually push those together. Hang on. There, that's good for now. I didn't realize it got so far apart. Let's see. As you see the headline say, Biden demands uninterrupted cash flow to Ukraine. This has gotten way far beyond the point of ridiculous. It says in the subtitle there, the U.S. leader blasted extreme House Republicans for a manufactured crisis. Wait a minute. Which manufactured crisis? Because them not wanting to foot the bill for all this nonsense is not a manufactured crisis. That's paying the bill for the manufactured crisis. This, an observation. Uh-oh. It heard me bragging. Alright. It's working. trying to show me up. All right. Article goes on to say President Joe Biden has welcomed a bipartisan short-term budget deal that will keep the U.S. government open for the next 45 days, but was disappointed that none of the billions of dollars in aid to Kiev that he had requested made it to the final bill. We cannot, under any circumstances, allow American support for Ukraine to be interrupted, Biden said in a brief statement on Saturday night, shortly after Congress passed the measure. Biden had requested an additional $24 billion for Ukraine, but critics argued that Washington has more important priorities and should have stronger safeguards against the misappropriation of the funds and supplies it sends to Kiev. The U.S. leader, however, blamed extreme House Republicans for causing a manufactured crisis and demanding drastic cuts that would have been devastating for millions of Americans. I fully expect the Speaker will keep his commitment to the people of Ukraine and secure passage of the support needed to help Ukraine at this critical moment, the U.S. President added. Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy had to rely on Democrats in order to pass the bill and avert a government shutdown, as 90 Republicans opposed any short-term funding measures, denying him the much-needed votes. As part of the deal, McCarthy increased federal disaster assistance by $16 billion, but had to forego the border security provisions sought by the GOP. After no new aid to Ukraine made it to the final bill, the House Democratic leadership said in a statement on Saturday that they expect McCarthy to bring a separate Ukraine aid package to vote when the House returns. And I'm sure he will. The Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin also welcomed the bill passing, but called on the Congress to live up to America's commitment to provide urgently needed assistance to Kiev. That's our commitment? Really? Not our own people? Nice. America must live up to its word and continue to lead, he added in a statement published on Saturday. Yeah, how about you start doing that in your own damn country? I agree. You must live up to its word and continue to lead. So let's get this charity case out of the White House. Let's fire the entire damn government, all the way from the Speaker of the House all the way down to your city mayor, all of them gone, and bar them from ever running for public office again. Anybody that's currently serving in public office should be barred from ever running again. Why? Because I know this person's not that bad and this person's not that. Bullshit. Bullshit. They're playing a game. If you haven't figured that out yet, I don't know what to tell folks. There is a learning curve. I don't care where anybody is on the learning curve. I know I'm not going back down it to make other people happy. That much I do know. So next, and this headline came out, shortly before the show. Not much time to help Ukraine, says Biden. I can't think of any more injustice than the American people. I really can't. I really can't. There is not nearly enough Americans that are willing to bankroll this war. And I think that is what's supposed to make a difference. Now, and I'm not saying a democracy either, which essentially that's what that is. But even if we participated in a democracy long enough to clean up the mess to put this back to the constitutional republic that it was, so be it. Ignoring the fact that we just need to take this guy to the nursing home isn't going to help anything. There are supposed to be things in place in times and situations such as these. I believe the sergeant at arms is what they're called. Should have long been arresting people. Oh, I'm like way behind in chat. Wow, howdy, Christopher. I'm just catching up. Oh yeah. Ryan, on them suspending the elections, exactly, man. Anything like that, I look at that and I'm like, the actions of a lot of what Ukraine does goes completely against what the intent of the United States was, and it's like we're supposed to support that. And no, you don't want me president. You do not want me president. Oh no. I am not, and I mean this in all seriousness, I am not compassionate enough for that role. I care deeply about people. But when it comes to people, I have a pretty low level of patience. And, yeah. I'm, pardon the language, but I'm much a fuck it, let 'em die kind of person. That's not what you want in charge. That is not what you want in charge. You want somebody that's willing to take a little more time and effort in helping bring people around. I don't give a damn. Either people go up, wake up, and deal with reality, or, well, they'll be left behind. And that's my mindset. That's not a good mindset, really, for a leader. It's not. Need much more compassion than what I have. I try. I honestly, I do. I try. But I think that there's been so much damage and trauma over the years. In fact, I made a comment on Facebook to somebody's post. Hang on a second here. And it was like a picture with words on it. It's the cat, and it says, "I overthink because I overlove and I overcare." And the thing that she had said is that she wished she could learn not to do those things. And my reply to her was, be careful what you wish for. There's a such thing as over-detachment. That's not a good place to be either. Like everything, it's the balance that's key. And I think that I definitely have an over-detachment issue. I cannot care a lot easier than what I should be able to put it quite frankly. So, I can turn my care off like a light switch. That's not good. It's not good. Oh, I hear you there. I hear you there. Oh, they just adverted it because they didn't pass anything except for the necessities, you know what I mean? Funding didn't get to go towards border stuff, and funding didn't get to go towards Ukraine stuff, so they just kind of like I don't know if they call that a stopgap measure. I've heard that word before, that term before. I don't know if that's what that's called, a stopgap measure. But, so they funded like the basic things and a couple other little pet projects, but the big things has been put off for 45 days. So, but as the article said, they kind of expect that McCarthy's going to be bringing something out, another bill before the end of that 45 days in order to fund Ukraine. So, and I'm sure that's probably true. So, and the other reason why they broke it out of there is because you have to understand this whole Republican Democrat thing is a facade to begin with. Again, it's not my fault where people are on the learning curve. I don't care. See what I mean? I don't care. That's really the way I am. And there is no such thing as Democrat and Republican when you're in those positions. You damn right it'll get passed through, and that's the reason why it was pulled out away from the rest of it, because the next time they put it in front of their faces, they don't want a single chance of it not going through. So they're going to put it in by itself, and there will be just enough votes with just the same people arguing and putting up a fight, and the other same people. It's nothing. It's worse than the worst B movie I've ever watched. It really truly is. You can go back year after year after year, and every time they do this and they threaten you, you can go back. You can look at my archives here, and I keep saying the same shit every year, right? I must be psychic. Yeah, absolutely, on the Dianne Feinstein. Thank you, Father. I know I'm supposed to not be that way or feel that way, but I don't like evil, and that bitch was evil. Yeah, there's hope. They eventually die. Yeah, eventually injecting all the kids' blood and all that crap, adrenochrome and all that nonsense. What happened? Oh. I didn't even hear where it came from. Was it my chair? Oh, okay. Noise, and the way I was talking at the same time that the noise happened, so I couldn't really tell for sure what was going on. Righteous indignation. Let's see. So yeah, anyway, he's saying that not much time to help Ukraine, and U.S. President Joe Biden has urged Congress to stop playing games and vote on a separate aid package for Ukraine as soon as possible to ensure that the American support for Ukraine remains uninterrupted. After all, new funding for Kiev would drop from a stopgap bill, it is called that, that averted the government shutdown. Speaking from the White House on Sunday after signing a last-minute government funding package that omitted assistance to Ukraine, Biden said that he expected, and I've already told you about this, and I guarantee you he will. Again, they did that for two reasons. The biggest one of which, they want to make sure that the funding for Ukraine goes through. So they pulled it out of that because they don't. That's the games that he's talking about. We can't play games with this, right? We gotta get my buddy Big Z his Coke money, right? So Big Z buys the Coke money and buys the Coke, and Hunter goes over there to help him out with energy, right? Energy. A lot of damn energy with all that cocaine. And, anyway, I'll move on. Because I think I'm getting stuff mixed up. Nuclear power, cocaine, what's the difference? Anyway. Oh, man. So, I only got a couple of more tabs for you, and won't get to the headlines. I feel nonsensical tonight. I don't know why I do. I have a nonsensical feeling. A British PM clarifies stance on troops in Ukraine. Where the hell did the Trumps come from? I like my brain went on autopilot reading, and autopilot done just dawn darted us right into the ground. Thanks, autopilot. By the way, I really do that. You wouldn't know, you wouldn't believe what all I think about during the time I'm reading articles and stuff to you. My brain reads on autopilot. I can think about other things while I'm reading to you. It's the strangest thing. But you can't talk to me while I'm reading. Like, to learn something, I can read and I can speak those words and they can come and go out of my mouth and not pay a damn bit of attention to them. But if I need to pay attention to whatever it is I'm reading to gain the information from it, yeah, can't even talk to me. If I'm typing, don't talk to me. I'm not talking while I'm typing. I can't I can't, listen to talking while it's messed up. But anyway. British PM clarifies stance on troops in Ukraine. Trump not in Ukraine. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has said the UK has no plans to send military instructors to Ukraine to train local troops, claiming there was some misreporting of comments by Defense Secretary Grant Shapps, who floated the idea. During a visit to Burnley on Saturday, Sunak and he wanted to make the situation absolutely clear, explaining that Shapps did not mean to bring British soldiers would be deployed in Ukraine. Is this written wrong? During the conflict with Russia. The UK had been training Ukrainian soldiers on British soil for a long time, he noted. According to the PM, the Defense Secretary actually meant it might well be possible one day in the future for us to do some of that training in Ukraine. But that's something for the long term, not the here and now. There are no British soldiers that will be sent to fight in the current conflict. That's not what's happening, he insisted. London continues to provide military training to Ukrainians, but is doing that here in the UK, Sunak assured. Grant Shapps told the Telegraph on Friday that he was discussing with British military chiefs the possibility of eventually getting the training brought closer and actually into Ukraine as well. I think the opportunity now is to bring more things in country, especially to Western Ukraine, he said, mentioning training as well as British defense firms launching production there. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev labeled the UK Defense Secretary a cretin over his remarks, warning that the deployment of British instructors to Ukraine might trigger World War III. Now, I'm going to be real honest here. I'm getting awful tired of the World War III threats. Anybody else? I mean, if you're going to do it, do it. If not, shut up. I mean, just shut up. Either do it or don't. And that's where I'm at with this. And I'm not saying, when I say do it, I'm not talking about mutually assured destruction, the death of the planet. No, I'm talking about military conflict, however the hell that would look. I don't want it, but, it feels kind of pointless just standing here on the sidelines. I know that there have been troops training Ukrainians on Ukrainian soil. They've admitted that. I'm not saying that the UK's admitted it, but I mean the Pentagon's admitted it, that U.S. has had troops in support roles on Ukrainian soil. That's been probably over a year that was admitted to. So, but I think the big sticking point is this whole British soldiers being sent to fight and the conflict. And I don't even necessarily, I don't know, I didn't read all the statements or anything else that this one guy made, but I doubt that he said that there would be troops fighting in the war. Training maybe, but fighting probably not. Probably not. Well, I don't know of the Cold War ever ending. I don't. And North Korea actually made a statement about that that's in the headlines. About the United States and its Cold War mentality. And you know, little Kim's right. Absolutely right. I mean, we have been displaying nothing but a Cold War mentality, and it's outdated, and it's dangerous, and it's dumb. I mean, it's not necessary. Really not necessary. Let's see here. Got one more. What's the neighbor? I reckon. Or somebody going to their house. Western idiots want World War III, says ex-Russian president. I actually almost put the article up to talk about where Little Kim talked about the United States Cold War mentality, but I didn't. And but I did get this one. A Western idiot, I've done read the headline, says here, conflict in Ukraine may lead to World War III because of the idiots occupying leading roles in the West, former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev has warned. The number of high-ranking morons is rising in NATO member states, he wrote on Telegram on Sunday. Medvedev, who currently serves as the deputy head of Russia's Security Council, was responding to statements from London and Berlin the previous day. Okay, and I'm going to step in and say, yes, he is responding to those statements. But the reality of the situation is, as I stated earlier, these nations are losing the support. Both the citizens are waning in support for helping Ukraine, and quite frankly, there's a lot of members of the different prospective governments that support is heavily waning. You've got entire nations now, EU nations now, that want to stop helping. And I think you're going to continue to see that. I think that's going to continue to be a thing to come yet for a while. So, it's crazy. All we can do is, again, like I say over and over and over, all this stuff going on, it doesn't change what you and I need to be doing. You know, that's why I think it's important not to get hung up on really any particular news, because you should be getting ready. You should be getting prepared. You shouldn't fear any of this stuff. You know, there's a lot of things I wished I was better at explaining, and I wished I had more patience explaining, and I don't, and I apologize for that. One of the things that I really wished I could put better into words so that people understood is this whole Mad Max scenario that the preparedness community is so hell-bent on being the future reality is absolute nonsense. It is Hollywood-inspired nonsense. Anybody tell me about the roving gangs that just took out tons of people during the Great Depression? No? Oh. Interesting. You know, there's only certain places that things like that happen, and at least to this point hasn't been the United States. But there are some countries in the Middle East and stuff like that during their civil conflicts and stuff like that, yeah, that's a reality. But aside from civil conflict here, man, you're going to have a hell of a lot more neighbors helping neighbors than what you're going to have people hiding in their basement with their box of crackers. why they can't see this is beyond me. They are literally hypnotized by Hollywood. It's mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. Not a lot of people I know see it. But there is one thing in common with a lot of the people that I do know that see it. They quit watching television. The reason I harp on that all the time. It is literally called television programming. Yeah, community, man. Exactly. Community. That's the only answer. I don't really understand what these guys plan to do in their groups. Because clearly recovery isn't in the plans. So what the fuck's your group for? Survival? Yeah, that's a failed plan. We got 20 people, no more. We're not gonna let anybody else in. We got 20 people. And well, after the first 30 days we're only gonna have 12 people because 8 of them been shot up. It's ignorant. It's really ignorant. But I'm the dumbass according to them because I didn't watch enough TV, I guess. I don't know. Right on, man. Yeah, that was before me, brother. 2006 was when I kicked the TV. And I saw what was going on. That was when reality TV was just getting started. And the television programming took a dark turn. Now, there's always been, I don't know what to, controversial. I'll use the word controversial. There's always been controversial television programming. And when I'm talking about that type of, I'm talking about the offensive type of controversial. I'm talking about things like some people would consider the Jeffersons as being controversial. Lots of people would think of Sanford and Son or All in the Family. These are all shows that had a very controversial overshadowing of what they were. But when things like Roseanne came out, that was on a different level. That was on a different level, in a different manner, and done, at least on the screen for you, in a different heart. It was funny to watch Sanford and Sons. It was funny to watch in the, All in the Family. I was going to say In the Heat of the Night. It was fun watching those shows because the humor was very clear in it. That the conflict was very obvious. But you didn't have that in the newer programming like Roseanne. You didn't have that. There was no clear line. There was that was put in front of your face as a reality, not as a comedy. And so then people, as a society, started to treat one another that way, and all became about one-upmanship. That is when our society really started to go downhill. Again, that whole learning curve thing, I don't care where people are on it. These are things I caught, I intervened, and as a result, I had benefited in some ways. In other ways, I've been cursed because I can't see things like a majority of people, and the majority of people can't see things like me. while I'm grateful to not have my head up my ass, it's a lonely place. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, we've all been propagandized on some level, even whether it be through the education system or, and it is really crazy if you think about how much just one single individual is propagandized throughout their entire life. I mean, you have private industry propagandizing you. You have, of course, your media propagandizing you. You have entertainment propagandizing you. Education propagandizing. I mean, there's no way to get away from the agendas and the propaganda. Best thing that people can do is learn to spot it. About the best thing that people can do. Learn to spot it and learn to zig and zag in and out of it. Right on, brother. Right on. Well, it's all about the main man. Every bit of it's about the main man. I mean, especially in these times. My jury's still out on survived. So far, yeah. We'll see if I'm here tomorrow night. Well, that's why I always say God won. Because that's true. God willing. Oh, man. I reckon I could read off these headlines and be done for the night. I'm ready for that. I'm a little tired. All right. Yeah, 29 is where I start. I had to make sure I'm starting on the right date. Because as you know, I start with Friday's stuff since I wasn't here, and watch close for the ding-dong, the witch is dead. Anyway, Taiwan unveils magical weapon against Beijing. It's a submarine, so okay. Share of dollar in global payments rising, says SWIFT. Pentagon discloses military deal with Elon Musk. EU state sets condition for further Ukrainian aid from Brussels. Drone strikes on rare Swedish donated Ukrainian tank shown via POV camera. A teen arrested after Robin Hood's tree cut down. That was kind of BS. Why do people do stuff like that? I mean, I was certainly a troubled teen. But I never really had a desire to harm people's things or them. I mean, I don't know. I never had that desire. A German jobs market showing first cracks, says Bloomberg. A Russian army rules out further mobilization. Russia has left sick part of global economy, says minister. Russian defense is stronger than expected, says UK military chief. Kiev asks West not to treat Ukrainians as refugees. Death toll passes 50 in Pakistan mosque suicide bombing. Again, this is Friday's news. Ukraine demands full EU membership. A billionaire issues dire warning for U.S. economy. Suspected scammers preying on EU citizens arrested in Ukraine. NATO hardware not designed to fight Russia, says Wall Street Journal. Then who would it be designed to fight? I mean, I would say that Russia has always been NATO's largest adversary. Why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't it be designed to fight Russia? Doesn't make sense. Number of LGBT Brits grows by half in 5 years, says a study. And so does the mental health issues. Bulgaria to stop imports of Russian oil. Longest serving U.S. senator dies at 90. Time to kill. Oh, yeah. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Time to kill Swift, a Russian banker suggests. And you might take back your statement on the psychopath after my singing. Ukraine strongly condemns UEFA Russia decision. Germany believes Russian ally supports West. Wait a minute. Oh no, I haven't started a new day. Let's see. U.S. using Ukraine conflict to train own troops, says media. Well, in a sense, yeah. But wouldn't anybody? French authorities acknowledge bedbug emergency. Apparently that's a real big deal over there right now. From my understanding, it's a real big deal like in New York City. I don't know. Never been there. Really not interested in going there. Why? I would like to. I would like to go and visit. There are two things that I would like to see in person. Number one, I would like to see that big damn street with all the damn lights and all that. Times Square. Yeah, I would like to walk through Times Square. That would be kind of cool. Just walk through, look at it, see it. The other thing that I want to do is go to Zuccotti Park and just kneel and pray. So those two things I would love to do. Just I'd like to see and experience whatever the hell they call that. I can't remember. Times Square. And again, I'd like to kneel and pray at Zuccotti Park. So yeah, you do need a boat in New York right now. That was insane. Let's see. Finland signing deals to build fortification on Russian border, says media. Putin eases entry rules for Ukrainian. Delivery giants lose bid to block wage increase for New York City workers. West can't define Ukraine victory, says security chief. Putin calls for global economic change. Elon Musk decries witch burning of Russell Brand. Emergency declared over New York flooding. Russia wants strong Latin America, says Putin. Arrest made in Tupac Shakur murder probe, says the media. So, just for the record, they've solved Tupac's murder, but yet we've got so many other unsolved cases. I wonder what they had against this guy that they... kind of what it sounds like to me. More like they just needed to put somebody away for something, and so... You took out Tupac. I don't know. Maybe it's good evidence. I have no idea. I didn't look into it. I'm talking out my butt. America's top general takes parting shot at wannabe dictator. Anti-Trump Republicans fail to sway voters, says New York Times. Kennedy to run as third-party presidential candidate, says media. I think that's a good idea for him. Trump ally pleads guilty in election interference case. Ukrainian terrorists attack another power substation in Russia, says governor. IRS contractor leaked tax info of richest Americans, says DOJ. U.S. Special Forces to be tested for drugs after death of recruit. Activist lawyers sue to keep Trump off 2024 ballot. And we are to yesterday's news, which means I get coffee and a vape. Now, have you know, in one Boulder Rock I have sour gummy worms, and in the other Boulder Rock I have pink starburst. Yum. 'Cause I'm an adult, yo. Alright. This thing is gonna die tonight. How much you want to bet? Oh, well, it actually did quit working. Oh, wait. It shut off. Gonna have to yell at it. Gonna have to get the big hammer. Now I can't get the damn pot out of it because Hang on. Yeah. Well, you should never give a man a label maker. I labeled the pod so I knew which flavor was in it. Now it's hard to get out of the thing. Yay. But it's floated out. Not yay. Anyway. Hang on. Gotta deal with this flood. Oh, God. Okay. That's gotta get that way. For whatever reason. Yeah, that puppy's flooded pretty good. It's actually easy, though, to unflood it. Watch. There you go. Learn how to do minor quick repairs. Put toilet paper under it and blow. I'm not good enough to get hired. I mean, I can tell you that. Comments for any of the peanut gallery out there. Because I know I'd have been saying, you're hired. Yay, fixed. Yum, yum. Now, on with the show. Alright. Yesterday's news. Israeli guards accused of intimate relations with terror convict. Holy heck. And there was like not one, there was like at least a couple. I mean, I'm talking about a couple of guards with this, and they're saying that like, that he had more or less threatened them into it and all of that bull. Nah, bruh. Even though you're not a bruh. Nah. Let's see. China. What? China unveils, I'm telling you, nonsensical tonight. I don't know what's wrong. China unveils its moon plans. Well, I can unveil my moon right now. Oh, no. Stop the show. Russian energy review revenues reviews. Yeah, I'm reviewing that Watchman guy. He was trying to show his ass on air. Let's see. Russian energy revenues set to rise, says Finance Ministry. Russian oil cap not working, says Washington. Damn right, the stop sign. Putin addresses Russia on first anniversary of reunion with 4 regions. Supporting Ukraine is tough and painful, says UK Foreign Secretary. Leading Emirati property developer eyes Russian market. Russian bank tops European finance brand ratings. Ukraine conflict a Slavic fraternal war, says Hungary. Top Republican wants Kiev aid dropped from U.S. spending bill. Melania Trump quietly renegotiates prenup, says media. Yeah, in other words, you can't get any of my money. Oil prices score major third quarter rise. And you know what? Rightfully so, because I think that bunch of bullshit's wrong. People taking the other people for half when they didn't put anything in, that's bull. So, yeah, I get it. Let's see. Oil prices score a major third quarter rise. I don't know if I read that or not. London office vacancies hit 30-year high. Zelensky announces defense fund to be financed by seized Russian assets. Oh, I expect that gas prices are going to go stupid very quick, which sucks. And I didn't store any diesel. We don't have no diesel, none. I didn't even get the heater cleaned. So, I mean, which if we do get diesel, that's like nothing but a thing. That take me an hour tops to run through the heater, get it all cleaned up. Well, no, I'll give it more than that. I'll give it 3 hours because I got to get it out of the housing and all that stuff. But once I've got the heater out of the housing and can just go to work, hour tops, that thing will be cleaned up, ready to go. But yeah, I gotta make sure that we're even gonna have diesel to use it. So let's see. Covered that. German energy giant admits it's probably still buying Russian gas. Oh yeah, it is about to get cold. That's why that's been on my mind a little bit. I've actually already got the smiley face heaters. Fire marshal Bill, the smiley face heaters. I've already got them in the house, and we've used them. We wake up and there'd be a chill in the air, and which is funny because we're the ones that put the chill in the air. So we put our air conditioning on igloo overnight, and we pretty much pretend to be Alaskan people without heat while we sleep, and I don't know why. I have never, and I hate cold. I hate cold. But for some reason, it's about the only way I can go to sleep, as if it's freezing cold and I'm under an insanely warm blanket. It's crazy. And then I've got a heating pad that I use every night on top of that, because without that heating pad, I'm not going to sleep. Sleep is not going to come my way without that heating pad. So if I don't get my muscles and joints and stuff in my back to settle down, I will not go to sleep. So I know I'm not in good shape. I'm aware of that. And no amount of exercising is going to fix the problem. In fact, I would argue that exercising would exacerbate the problem, because part of it's joint deterioration issues. So I would like to be able to turn my health around, but it's not possible. Not in any way that I'm aware of. I mean, other than the Father, and I do pray. Not real often, as far as praying for Him to help me with my health, because I'm not a big fan of praying for myself. I'll pray all day, every day for other people. No, I'm not supposed to make it so much, and it's okay. It's fine to pray. That's my hang up. That is my hang up. So, let's see. German energy giant admits it's probably still buying Russian gas. Well, yeah. Trump may have broken federal gun laws, says prosecutors. And they are just looking at anything to throw him under the bus. But it's still a cheap B movie. Don't forget that. It's still a cheap B movie. Russia will liberate more Ukrainian regions, says ex-president. Ukraine can use German missiles to attack Russia, says Bundestag. EU nation to beef up air defenses over Ukraine conflict. Elon Musk defends Russell Brand amid sexual assault allegations. Beijing brands U.S. true empire of lies. I could see that. Number of refugees aiming for Germany too high, says Scholes. British defense chief wants to send UK troops to Ukraine. Ukraine absent from emergency U.S. government funding bill. And then we have today's news, which means I get another drink of coffee and get to fight my e-cig again. No, don't have to fight it. It'll work. It just got flooded out a while ago. That's not a big deal. Sour gummy worms. I mean, it really is. So good. Man, it's so good. And you know how old that juice is that I'm vaping on right now? Several years old. We bought that when we were in the last place a long time ago. And like I told Jen, since I only use these at night, normally just when I go to bed, I normally don't puff on them throughout the day unless I need to be able to grab something I can lay down. But I don't normally use these. And I've got 3 full bottles in there of juice. And like I told Jen, that's probably, for me, just using this at night when I go to bed, that's probably a couple of years worth of juice. So, I'm good. I got all, nicotine flavorings and stuff like that. And I actually even have the type of nicotine that you use in your pod systems, which is a different type of nicotine than the old school stuff. I've got both kinds, so. I just can't get over how good these companies can mimic these flavors. It's incredible. Candy King, by the way. Candy King is the name of the company that makes the ones I love so much. The pink Starburst is called I think it might just be called pink. There might be a word under it, I don't know, but it might just be called pink. I don't know, I got the box in there. And then the sour gummy worms is just called worms. Just called worms. But it's by Candy King. Awesome stuff. Nano Goo gonna get 5G'd. Right on, Christopher. I'm looking forward to the zombie thing. Zombie. Oh, man. I just hope that, I just hope the testicular nanobots, that I just hope they got a tingly feeling at least. I mean, let me enjoy a little bit. Ah, man. Every single time they do these tests, there's these big wild conspiracies about what's going to happen. And I remember the very first time when they did the first one, which Obama's the one that did it, and the world was coming to an end because Obama was going to do this and Obama was going to do that. And remember when Trump was president, right? Oh, he's going to use that test to tell the Americans that he's doing this and he's doing that and he's going to, Nothing. Every time, each time, nothing. You know why? because people have too little to do. Yeah, people have too little to do, so they create stories. And that's how that happens. Let's see. Another sip of coffee. Poor kiddo. She's not doing well. And she's having ear issues. And the fastest we could get her medication is tomorrow. So tomorrow she'll have her ear medication. So thankfully we'll be able to get that at bay. We have fought that her entire life. And it's every couple of months or so we go through this. And even on Amazon, I can't remember what it was. I think it's at 10. I think right now it's at 10. Let me see. And Amazon's not the only place we've ordered it. Yeah, 10 times on Amazon. And we've ordered it off of eBay. We've bought it at Walmart. I mean, but just Amazon alone, what we get tomorrow will be the 10th bottle from just them alone. And at $34 a pop, well, 35, 36 after tax. Holy cow. Poor girl, though. And it'll be here tomorrow. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. That's cool. There was a thing I shared earlier. Let me find it. And I feel honored by somebody that just loved it. So, anyway, this was a thing I shared. It says, I do not like small talks. I want people who talk about atoms, moons, planets, stars, black holes, galaxies, aliens, purpose of our birth in the universe, life after death, etc. That is very, very, very much me. And I added to that, yep, I don't care about ball games. I don't care about TV shows or Hollywood. I don't care what Bobby or Susie is doing. I want to talk about real things, not mindless dribble. That's what I commented. But Fire Marshal Bill's up there, and T.R. Paul K. Salmon. That is Simon. Sorry, that is Paul from Africa. So that's the gentleman that I had spoke about. That Steve Angle, myself, and Paul were in one of the meta workrooms. One of the events that I had, my weekly news thing that wasn't so weekly. We're back though. And anyway, had one hell of a good discussion with Paul and Steve, and I really hope to do that again. Really, really hope to do that again. Okay, let me run through these so I can rub her and help soothe her a little bit. Biden demands uninterrupted cash flow to Ukraine. A NATO country elects party which promises to end Ukraine aid. A South American country boasts world's fastest growing economy. Russia boosts cross-border settlements in one. Suicide bomber strikes Turkish government building. U.S. elites stuck in Cold War, says North Korea. That's the headline I talked about earlier. EU launches world's first carbon border tax. Russia can't keep up with inflow of Chinese imports, says Bloomberg. Several dead in Spanish nightclub fire. Let's see. Read that one. Egypt ramping up Russian grain imports, says Bloomberg. British PM clarifies stance on troops in Ukraine. Most royal of UK boroughs declares it's nearly broke. Democrats want to bleed Ukraine dry, says U.S. Senator. Italy's working population set to dramatically shrink, says data. Turkey expects nothing from the EU, says Erdogan. Ukraine has no chance without the U.S., says an MP. U.S. Secretary of State's history lesson gets corrected by ex-users. Let's see. U.S. border more important than Ukraine, says Republican leader. My people have bigger problems than Ukraine, says EU state's election winner. So that's kind of what I was referring to in reference when I was talking about the EU and other, places abroad. Their support's waning pretty quickly, actually. EU nation blasts Zelensky for forgetting who helped Ukraine the most. EU will back Ukraine without the U.S., says Burrell. Turkey bombs Iraq after terrorist attack. Let's see. Covered that. Oh, that was it. That is all of them. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here and love on the furry daughter child for a little bit and try to kind of help ease her. I'm sure it's an ear infection. It's what it is. So I can massage like the sides of her neck by her ears and stuff like that. It helps a little bit. Helps ease it a little bit. So I'm gonna get off of that so I can do that for the fur daughter. And God willing, I'll see you all tomorrow. So as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.